Yo, what's happening, guys? Welcome to another edition and episode of Rave Diaries and Tower Block Tales with yours truly, Uncle Doug's, talking the old school business. So, firstly, before we get into today's story, I just want to thank everyone, as always, for subscribing and liking and commenting and all of the lovely stuff that I've been hearing from you like when I've been out and about. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's not a lot to ask. Don't cost anything. Little click, boom. Simple. I think if you look down there, pretty sure it's on that side, there's a little red thing. Click on that. You can do it while you're watching, alright? Anyway, but thank you to everyone that's been watching. That's the most important thing. So on today's episode, we've been hovering around the early 90s quite a bit in the first few episodes, haven't we? And we're going to bring it up to date with some other stuff as we go. It's just, as I dig through stuff, I'm going to find different eras and different bits and bobs. But we are going back to 1991 again today, and this was actually the first weekender that I ever went to in my life. It was called Kaos Weekender, yeah. I'll dig out the flyer and I'll put the flyer on your screens probably now while we're talking about this little bit here. So this was the actual booklet that I'm going to read through. I'll show you the pages. I'm going to start I'll show you each page, but I'm going to take photos, I've decided, of each thing that we're putting up so you can have a good quality version to read or flick through in your own time. So we're going to do that, but we'll have a quick flick through it though while we've got it here. And then this here, can you see this? Go on, Dogsy. That's my, you know, when you get to a weekend, you have to have a pass or whatever, a wristband nowadays, but back then it was one of these. And that was me, 16 years old. Number 130, November 1991. Look at that. Anyway, I was there. I was definitely there. So Kaos 5, it was at Camber Sands. Like I said, I didn't know what to expect. I had older cousins that had been going to like Prestatyn, Soul Weekenders, Prestatyn and Caister Camp or whatever. So I'd heard all these mad stories about weekenders on holiday camps. But obviously Rave was a little bit different to the Soul Weekenders. They were more based around beer. And pulling birds and just being general lads and lasses. Whereas the Rave Weekenders were a bit more, I don't want to say more music focused, because that's not fair to the soul guys, because they definitely love their music. But I think it was less about pulling birds and being laddie. It was more about having a pill, getting down, having a dance, boy meets girl, that kind of, it happened, but it wasn't like the priority through this era especially. It was more about getting out, getting on one, and getting your dance moves on. So yeah, so my first weekender, like I say, Kaos number 5. I do believe the people that I went with had gone to Kaos 4. That's why we ended up with this. But looking back at this now, just had a quick flick through this. I think it must have been run by Nicky Holloway. He must have had something to do with it if he didn't run it. It's quite a housey. Obviously by now, 91, you had hardcore was coming through, but I was so naive in my knowledge of the scene at this time, and I just trusted everyone that I was around because they were older than me, that I just followed them around for a year or two and did whatever they did pretty much until I developed my own sort of tastes and flavours more and more. So this is a little bit more housey, but the first page is an intro, greetings pop pickers. I'll put all these up so you can read them. I don't want to keep holding them up because that's rubbish, isn't it? So I'll photograph them after, and then I can put them up at the end of the video for you to all look for if you want to read them. Much better idea. Why didn't you think of that ages ago, Doug? So the first is an intro. This is welcome to another sellout event, blah, blah, blah. PAs this time, Kim Sims, M People, Underground Resistance, Base Construction. And then just a little bit of talk about pontins and all of that, where it was being held. Then you've got things to do at Kaos. Switch on the water in your chalet now, otherwise there'll be no hot water. Mate, I remember this being freezing, bruv, down there. I think even if you turned on the hot water about a month before, it wouldn't have been warm in there. Show some respect for your neighbours. Keep the music down for the odd hours that no one was sleeping, mate. Trust me, no one was sleeping. Overindulge in just about everything. That happened. Be wild, free and sexy. That happened, or at least we give it a go. Get up on Saturday, go over to the hall and watch White and listen to Jeremy Healy. That didn't happen. Check out as early as possible on Sunday to avoid the queue. Probably didn't happen. See what I mean? Snog Nicky Holloway, Brandon Block and Steve Lee. It must have been to do with him, them, or their gang. Definitely. Buy a Kaos t-shirt, eat You Have to or We Die. Get off with an Essex girl. And then things not to do at Kaos. OD, roll a spliff in front of the ponting staff, lose your pass, forget to take it with you when you go to the hall, annoy everyone with poppers, try to outdrink Brandon Blog, have sex with strangers without using a you-know-what, put Vic on your chest, let's hope that one stays up north. Ooh, that's controversial. Pester the DJ for requests, he's not a jukebox, if you want one of them, go down the pub, fiddle with a lecky meter, get off with an Essex girl. So yeah, that's your things to do and not to do at Kaos. And then it had like, oh look at that now. God, do you know what? I thought that, I read that and it said live Saturday night Kim Sims, live Saturday night Sabrina Johnston, coming soon on Vogue. When I saw that, I thought, no, on Vogue weren't there. How did I miss them? I weren't there on that. But anyway, then there's a bit of advertising for something at Brixton Academy. Mixed bag thing, a little thing from White there talking, another bit of adverts, a few more adverts, and then the timetable and lineup. So you had like comedy shows and bits and bobs going on all the time away from the music. But the upstairs Friday night, Brandon Block, Christian Woodyat, Glenn Gunner, Pete Tong, Fat Tony, Ord Meikle, don't know who that is, Graham Park, Nicky Holloway. I'm going to have someone come in. We don't know Ord Meikle, but he made Strings of Life with Derek May. Downstairs on the Friday night, Marvin Connor, Alex P, Scott James, DJ JD, Jazzy M, Fabio and Groove. Upstairs on Saturday for lunch, Marvin Connor, Steve Lee, Nicky Holloway, White and Jeremy Healy. Upstairs Saturday night, Brandon Block, Johnny Walker, Steve Lee, Nancy Noyes, Fat Tony, Alfredo and Nicky Holloway. Downstairs on the Saturday night, Fabio Groove, Carl Cox, Christian Woodyat, Jazzy M, Marvin Connor, Alex P and DJ JD, and then finishing off upstairs Sunday lunch, Marvin Connor, Roscoe, Brandon Block and Alfredo. So you can see it's a little bit more of a housey line-up to what I would have ordinarily have gone to in this era, but I do remember it being sick. I remember having a really good weekend. I'll tell you what else I remember, I've just popped into my head. I can't remember what Jack and Jill's we had there, but I remember I took one and you know when you come up and you feel sick, and I went into the toilet to be sick, and while I was being sick, there was a crack on the wall. It had been plastered just above the cistern up the wall here, just a crack. And while I was being sick, I thought it was blood dripping down the wall. I looked up and I could see all like, well, I don't know, blood, red, whatever, dripping down. And you know when you sort of like, done one of them, when I look back at it, it was plaster. Obviously it wasn't blood dripping down the wall. It wasn't a Hammer House of Horrors. Well, it was Camber Sands or whatever it was where we was at. Pontins, they were pretty Hammer Housey, to be fair. Anyway, back to this. So yeah, a little interview with Kim Sims in here. Bit of promo for the next Kaos event, which I didn't go to. A little bit with Sabrina Johnston. Little interview or story with Nicky Holloway, something to do with him winning or losing some money in IB for along the way with a promotion. I haven't actually read it, so I'm assuming it's a funny story because it would be in here. And then there's a New Year's Honour list set up by Nicky Holloway and Adrian Webb, an advert for Perfecto Records. And then of course, don't use Vicks, but you can go out there and buy Rhubarb and Custard by Shaft. That was on the back page. So yeah, that was Kaos 5 weekend on November 1991. I remember it being really good, but like I say, I was so naive back then that I didn't really even fully know what I liked and what I was into. So I probably wouldn't have gone to that. Had that been 6 months later, that's probably why I didn't go to the six one. We went to the Living Dream Weekender, which we'll talk about. We'll definitely talk about that on another day. A lot went on that weekend as well. But for now, that was Kaos 5. Big up all the Kaos gang. Everyone that went to Kaos 5 as well. Maybe I met you. Who knows? I was there. Maybe you was there. We were there. I'll see you on the next episode. Yeah. Don't forget, like, comment and subscribe. Peace, love, unity. Be lucky.